There's been mention of looking at a carburetor being torn down, so I figured let's do it. Since I removed mine, to put the turbo on and put the Harley carb on. Let's start by pulling off these vacuum hoses. These are ones I guess I left on when I removed it because I wasn't going to need them. Oops. Gosh, I hope I don't do that a lot. Come on, baby. There we go. All right. So, when it's in the car, it's like this. That would be the front of the car, and this would be the back of the Acty. So I tell people to check this for weird fueling issues. I mean, it's an easy thing to check. All you do is you take the cover off, and this is what's in here. Oh, it levitates. So there's a spring. Needle's in there. This whole thing, yeah, comes out. So here's your needle. You know how that works, probably. Oh, that might actually be able to see it. If I could, what the fuck is that shadow? Is that for real? Oh, maybe not. Oh, it's not a shadow. Okay, where can I get the light on? There we go. Yeah, you don't know if you can see down in there or not. Doesn't really matter. The point is there's a hole in there for this needle to go into. And as the needle pulls out with vacuum on top, sort of, vacuum on top and vacuum, this pulls vacuum out of there, which helps raise it. Not 100% sure about that. Don't quote me. But yeah, as you hog down on the gas, this pulls out. The needle gets thinner in that same hole, lets more fuel in. That's how this works. Got an O-ring in there. And I've already lost my pokey tool, which is brilliant. Looks like we got an O-ring right there. Okay, it's an O-ring. It's like a captive O-ring. So you can check that for suppleness. That's stiff. I mean, it's stiff. It's probably okay, but it's stiff. Drop that back in. It looks like it has a little notch in it that is intended for that hole for whatever reason, so I'm going to line that back up. But that's how you get that off of there. And you want to just check and make sure that this baby moves in there. It's got a little indexing notch right there. Will only go in one way, like that. So that's supposed to move nice and smooth. If it's stuck up or stuck down or doesn't want to move super easy, you know, get after it with some sandpaper. I don't know. Maybe a little lubrication. That's got a hex on it. Why would I use a screwdriver? Give me a moment. I'm not a professional yet. Got a lot of linkage on it. Do I want to take all this crap apart? Let me rethink this for a second. I think I've already rethought it. I'm not going to take this apart. I'm going to put this back down because I don't want to take all that linkage apart and craziness. Sorry, I'm a little shaky this morning. I've only had one espresso. Okay, well, that's the top side. Should I put that back together? Probably so. Let's go with that. Part along, flip that all the way around. Whoops a daisy. Whoa, it's fun. We're having a good time. Okay, that's done. Great, that was so easy and fun. Now, you know, you could probably, okay, you know what? Let's show how to test vacuum stuffs. I'll take one of my old pieces of vacuum line off of, I don't know, probably came off of this, and cut a fresh end on it. So it's nice and tight. See how nice and tight that is? And we'll see how blown out the old one is. So you can do that with all your vacuum hoses. Just cut a little bit off the end, snug, and stick them back on. That'll be a free way to do it. So then you can look down here. This is supposed to pull and move this upwards like that if it's working. So I'll suck on this because you can recreate vacuum similar to what's in the engine. See? Delicious. That's working. See if anything else is or isn't working. Just test a bunch of these. Holds. That's real nice. That works beautifully. Great. So all of those are indisputably correct. It looks like these caps come off and you can probably adjust how much they push and pull, which is makes me want to use it for turbo-y things. Irregardless, let's flip her over and get to the bottom now. I've already dumped all the fuel out of this guy, and I have not opened one of these up, so I don't really have a damn clue. These are the two solenoids that everybody replaces. I'm sure you can probably just put 12 volts to this, or positive to this and negative to the body, and it would do something. Just threw away a couple of pieces of wire this morning. That's just my Milwaukee battery. Let's see, get it in frame. I'm just gonna put that in there. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be stuck, like making decent contact. Perfect. And then I'll just stuff that dude into this one. And then this other side, we'll just strip them off and we'll put our voltage to it and see if it goes click. Makes a convincing click to me. Let's see if the other one works. Now what we can do, and we should do, is pull that one out anyway and look at it on the bench, working or not working. Positive, we'll do that. Sounds good to me. I think that's the fuel cut, because that's where fuel comes in. Maybe. Is that big? Whoops. Is that where fuel comes in? Don't know. That could be some sort of vacuum. Oh, boy. I was supposed to know more than this. Anyways, that just slips right out of there. Okay. Got an O-ring right there. It's old and crusty. Look at that crack. You can't see it because it's not focusing, but there's a big crack right there. Try not to block the shot too much there, Jimmy. Name's not Jimmy, I'm Jacob. By the way, you probably saw it on the face box. Okay, you know, I don't want to take all this crap apart just to get to that, but it's probably the exact same procedure. You pull out these cotter pins, you take the linkage off, you don't lose any of the little sliding washers, you don't lose any of the little pins. That's a little floppy for my liking, but irregardless, let's go to the bottom. I'm just going to use my Milwaukee impactor because it is a lot less likely to ruin screws than my hand is. This is the accelerator pump. I only know that because it looks a lot like the one on the Harley carb that I am intimately familiar with. All right. Okay. I don't know what that is. Could be, looks like that's got a little tiny hole in it. Looks to me like that is some type of like not a jet, but allows either air in or air out. That comes up. That comes up. Okay, so that little dongle, when you push down on the gas, it pushes down on this, pushes this little plunger, and it makes a little extra squirt of fuel go in there. Oh, there we go. Does that do it? Now, so that's what's in there. I would probably, if I was doing a full rebuild, I'd shoot carb cleaner in there, and then I'd put compressed air in there. I'd shoot carb cleaner in there, and compressed air, probably the same there, just to blow anything out. Probably blow some compressed air through there. I'd probably try to be a little careful. Little passages in the side of that, I'd definitely blow compressed air through both of those. One goes from there to there. This one probably goes over to down to there, and then whoa, weird. It goes. Check loose this bowl. That must be like an overflow or a drain, perhaps. Good. Oh yeah. Those were not at all tight. All right, let's see what we got here. Okay, so accelerator pump here. squishy, squishy. That probably spews fuel up right there. And that is a thing that probably goes in there. Yeah, and it shoots in your fuel right in through that. Or here, maybe. Wait a damn minute. Here. Yeah. Yeah, that's correct. Push on that. It squirts fuel in that. Into the thing. Into the stream. Don't cross the streams. Okay, here's your jets. Here, pilot jet, I would imagine. Here, main jet. Boy, it looks nice and clean in there. You know, you kind of... Oh, there's where that guy's spring is. There was a guy who put a post up yesterday and had a spring look just like that he found under his carburetor, and I bet that's it. I will reference him in that post. Let's see here. If I wanted to take a float ball out and check a needle, I would find my damn poking tool wherever I literally cleaned off this bench specifically for this reason. All right, well, when in doubt, the Leatherman has its own pouch on my waist if I ever put it in there. And it's got a pretty good pokey tool in it. So I'm thinking this pokes out that way. Well, there you go. Use some tiny pliers. Usually these are held in by some little ears. See how that fits inside of there? It wouldn't let it come out. That's what holds it in there. That's why it's easy to take out. Now this should just lift right off. Comes out with its I don't know, float valve? Float valve? That's rubber on the end. You can kind of just check and see if it's crusty. You can look in there. I don't know if you can see it in there or not. Probably not. But it looks real nice and clean. So I like the way that looks. I'm not going to change anything about this. I'll just take it out and leave it out of the way for now. Let's crack this jet loose and see what she looks like. Pilot jet. Whoops, we dropped it. It's adorable. It's huge. Is that a pilot? That's the main. See, that's got a big ass hole in there. I mean, a big hole. Let's see. Is it marked? It is marked. Gosh, it looks like 160. Be 160. Which means 1.6 millimeters. I get in here, I blow that out with some compressed air. Let's just do it. All right. I don't know what goes. Oh, that. Okay, let's blow that one out while we're at it. Oh, yeah. There's where your fuel comes in right there. I can feel it because air is flying out of there. Let's add a little more here. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I like that. So that's good and clean. No doubt that is in great condition. I'm not sure if... Does this just kind of come off? Yeah, it just wiggles and comes off. And then... I guess this is your emulsion tube. You know what? We could take that out too and look at it and make sure none of the little side pieces are clogged. So let's do that. Chances of it being an 8 are very good. Whoops, that came out easy. And this is a 35. How intriguing. So that's definitely going to be your idle jet. And the reason I know that is because I have a 35 in that Harley carb right now on my idle jet. I don't know what this is about. The little spring thing. I'm not familiar with this type of jet. But that's a 35. Let's put some air through that, dude. And just make sure that it's functioning. All right, a little air. I'm gonna put a little splash of carb cleaner. I've heard that you really don't want to get this carb cleaner, anything that's chlorinated, on you, because it might, you know, give you cancer. Also, I've heard that never, ever, ever clean off metal that you're about to weld with anything chlorinated, because it makes chlorine gas, or it makes something bad that you don't want in your body or on your eyeballs or in your lungs. See if I can. Okay. That's doing its job. Let's see if I can see down in there. I can't. Oh, there's another little jet down in there. What the shite. I don't want to get in there and take that out. Shoot a little carb cleaner in there. Just shoot a little bit in there. That's fine. That's fine. And we'll blow it on through. Definitely something jumped out. Was it? Was it this? I have to watch the video. But there's a jet in there. Shite. It's got 3 jets. All right. Well, let's see if we can get in there and crack that dude loose. My custom-made snap-on screwdriver. Try to catch everything that comes out. I've definitely seen that jet. Maybe that's the idle jet. Crazy. That is a Keihin 40. So that's a 0.4 millimeter. You can't see that. I don't know why I'm holding it that close to the camera. It sucks. I'm sorry. It's all blurry. Anyway, I've seen these on the eBay while searching for other jets. There's only about 3 or 4 different kinds of jets that are out there that I'm seeing when it comes to these CV carbs. Anyway, I better put this back in before I frickin' lose track of everything. But it is... Oh boy, I better not. It's wholly clogged. Completely clogged. And this carb was working okay. So let's just give it a little shot of this carburetor cleaner. See if we can get some down in there. Oh, getting it all over my hands. See if we can blow it out. Ah, yep, sure enough. Now I can see right through it. That was a problem. I don't know what the problem was. It never idled perfectly. It idles way better now than it ever did before. But let's drop her back in. And then I'll just close that down. You can feel, you don't want to crank these down. Like finger tight. Finger tight with a screwdriver. You know, decently tight. That is probably just a straw that sort of reaches it down to the level of the fuel. This guy, oh boy, it'll screw in there. And it'll screw in there. Wonderful. I don't remember. Oh, I remember now. It was definitely this one. I'm just going to snug that back down since she's up to snuff now. Now, you could do a lot more. You could really take more off and do more of what I'm showing you. Like this blow it out, you know, carb cleaner, blow it out, carb cleaner, blow it out kind of thing. Look through your jets. Make sure you can see through them. If you can see through them, you're probably good to G. Okay. So there we go. I mean, like okay, so here we go. This guy, I can see that this guy goes into here and then it goes kind of angles over and hits this jet. So this one is probably maybe like your enrichment circuit, which means it's the choke essentially. A choke is reduction of air versus the amount of fuel that's in there. An enrichment circuit is an increasion of fuel for the amount of air that's in there. So this is an enrichment circuit. It pulls from here when it's told to by whatever it is that tells it to. Maybe something that tells it when it's warmed up or whatever. And then once it's warmed up, it stops letting that fuel in. Okay, that's good. That's stuck in there. That's in there. Let's then put our... I wish I could see in there. I can't really see in there. Maybe I'll stuff up. I don't know if I've already blasted that. Oh, yeah. I have blasted that. I already blasted that. Short-term memory is a little weird. I don't know why. There's some science out there that backs up why, but I'm just not quite ready to believe it. Oh, and also, this goes in first. You just want to make sure your little needle... Whoops, a daisy. Fell off. There we go. it back on there. I can't see it because it's out of focus. I know, because these cameras. It's not the camera's fault. It's my fault for not buying a camera that shoots up close. But there she goes, back in there. And then this should just slip right in, just easy, easy greasy. And then you just kind of wiggle it around until you find it. There's stuff about setting the height of this. I don't think that's a problem here. What else? Those tubes. I don't know where they go. They go into here and there. Oh, those are the vents. Those are the bowl vents. They're wide open to air, which means those two are open to air, which means they go to the top. Flip this over, the top, which is the bottom in this. And they just offer a place for, allow the air to be equal on top, or not equal, I guess, free, so it doesn't compress when you're trying to put fuel in it. This goes into a thing. No, it just touches right there. Okay, well, I would probably suggest giving this a little bit of a spray and just a quick wipe, just to wipe any funk off of it, any boogers that might be on there. These will usually seal. I mean, if they're not kind of already messed up. Rubber's pretty good. It's been glued in there a little bit on that side. Okay. Let's drop her back on. That little spring is what held that part that popped out. That's what holds it in when it's sitting in there. That's not a very in-depth carb rebuild, but I mean, you can sort of see what's in. Maybe we take that off too while we're here. Snug. Not a very in-depth carb rebuild, but if you wanted to know what you were in for, now you know. That's got a spring under it as well. So whatever it is, it's got a little bit of spring. Looks to me like it's like the bowl drain. But then again, I've been wrong about 65 times on this video already. It could be like another... Oh, interesting. So this... I think it's a fuel cut. When it... I guess when the vacuum hits it, it just stops letting the main jet pull fuel. Cool. And then it drains whatever's left out of that, maybe. Not 100% on that. I don't think it matters. Not an important step, I would imagine. That's back together. I didn't really take a hell of a lot apart. You want to see what's in this thing? Let's see what's in this thing. I mean, half of rebuilding is like cleaning crap. The other half is replacing seals. We replaced one bad seal. Whoops-a-daisy. Okay, so there's an O-ring in there. If I have one that size, I'll replace it. What in the heck is this chonky thing? I don't even know. Oh, it's a heat-sensitive thing. Okay, so this is one of those things that as it gets hot, it pushes out on that. I bet. And then once it's pushed all the way out, it gets into a normal mode. I like that. And then it must have... Oh, yeah, this is where the coolant came in. So the coolant comes in and out through here. Now I remember. And it goes around this thing, and as it heats it up, it's like a thermostat. It is a thermostat. And it pushes that thing out as it gets hot, or allows it closed as it gets cold. That's pretty neato. One for that. Come on, open, you son of a piece of shit. It's fine. Ooh, okay. Okay. No. Triple no. Quadruple no. I don't have any this size. Man, this my O-ring kit is really being a bit of a loser this day. That's a fatty. Too small still. That's a double fatty. That one I would be comfortable with working, because this would just go right around here, just like that. Push on. I mean, it's a lot fatter than that one, but you know, fatter O-ring never killed anybody. Probably goes that way. Oh, well. Yeah, I think that would totally work. But you know what? I'm just going to put it back because it was working before. And I'm going to try and see if anybody wants to buy this carb from me, because I'm never going back. There we go. Snug. Oh, yeah, it's still got a little spring to it. It'll be fine. Drop those back in there. Glad to figure that out. So I guess if your car's never warming up, some of the guys have thermostat problems and stuff, and the car never warms up. If that never warms up, then that's never going to tell this carb that the car is warmed up, which means it's always going to be running rich. Or, I guess, yeah, to some degree rich. We can take that apart. I don't want to. It looks to me like it would come apart. It's got a seal in there. It's a diaphragm thing. I don't think I want to mess with that. But that's pretty much a lot of it. Okay, so right in there, there's your idle or your pilot fuel circuit. And you can see that slide in there maybe. And another jet or two. So it's got an idle, a pilot, and maybe a main. But there you go. Took it apart a little bit, put it back together. That's what I would do if I was trying to rebuild this and make it work great again. I wouldn't get too much more in depth. I might spend a little more time spraying jets and stuff. I mean, we did clean that one jet out real good that was totally clogged, that sort of mid-range jet or whatever it was. But there you go. More YouTubes. Content! All right, well, thanks again. If that was interesting, it's so easy to click the like button, and it helps. Yeah, I know, everybody says it. But, like, I try to click the like button a lot. I'm liberal with my likes, because it's free to help somebody. So if you want to do that, that would be great. And if you don't, that's cool too, I guess. I mean, I'm never going to know. But I will know if you click the like button, and it makes me feel all happy inside. And it gives me a little dopamine bump. And maybe one day I'll make money doing this. Shaka Khan. Thanks.